What's up again, YouTube? This is Brian here at 3TR again, and I've been seeing a lot of people online lately putting up vids talking about, the Avengers and the recently released The Amazing Spider-Man trailer. And I personally would like to give my opinions on two movies, apparently, and which one I think is better, and kind of my likes and dislikes about each one. Now, as you can see behind me, I'm going to start with The Avengers. And I know a lot of people out there are really excited for this movie, and I'm really, I hate to say this, but I'm actually in the majority that's actually not very excited about this movie. This movie does not look, what's the word? It doesn't look bad, it just, there's nothing that this movie's going to do that's really going to blow me away, in my opinion. Because apparently, the only thing that everyone that I've seen that they're really just, glowing over this movie is the idea that they're bringing all these heroes in one movie. Well, that's an interesting idea, but that's kind of a very difficult idea. It's like, are you going to make this about the team? Or are they going to try to do what X-Men did and failed? Or is it just going to be about one person who obviously is going to be about Iron Man, which is the mistake the X-Men movies had, was that, it's called X-Men, but the storyline revolved around Wolverine. This is called the Avengers, yet I'm getting the feeling it's going to revolve around Iron Man in some sense. And another problem I have with this movie was something I spoke to my dad about after we saw Captain America. Because after we left Captain America, I asked my dad, okay, what possible threat could bring all these heroes together to really want to team up? And my dad said, well, how about an alien invasion? And personally, I thought that was a very stupid idea because that sounds very cheap. Now let's think about this. What two movies not too recently that have come out in the last 20 years had an alien invasion in which we were supposedly outgunned, and yet we somehow came out winning? I wonder what those two movies were. Oh, that's right. They did this shit in Independence Day and Battle Los Angeles, and in my opinion, it looks like those invasions are a lot more effective than these two, because, and here's another problem I have with this movie. It looks like it's taking place in New York City. I'm kind of sick and tired of seeing all these superheroes have their battles out in New York City. I thought, doesn't New York City have enough problems with its own crime and a bunch of other things which I won't mention for respect, but aren't any of you else just kind of sick and tired of New York? I mean, why not go somewhere else, like Los Angeles, or Chicago, or Detroit, or Miami? I mean, I know Miami's not very big, but heck, there's a lot of room to do a lot of fighting, a lot of chances for destruction, so why don't we go somewhere else other than New York? Another problem I have with this movie is the fact that Loki is apparently the only villain that, at this point that I know of. And, he wasn't even a very great villain in Thor. He was kind of one of the worst things about it. Not the actor. The actor was good. It's just Loki's plan was just kind of stupid. And that was really why I didn't enjoy watching Thor that much. I mean, don't get me wrong. It was an okay movie. But, I enjoyed the movie Priest more than I did Thor. Sorry for saying that. I really did. But, yeah. And another problem I have with The Avengers is I just feel like this movie is being rushed. Now let's think about this for a second. It's taken us 5 movies to get up to this point, and within those movies you have 2 for Iron Man and 1 for everybody else. Now, I personally wouldn't have a problem with that, but it just seems that we're getting more from Iron Man than any other hero. I would have felt better if they had just done Iron Man's 1, The Incredible Hulk, Thor, and then Captain America, and then do the Avengers, because it kind of balances out. I mean, even from the trailer, it definitely looks like Tony Stark's going to have all the best dialogue and all the best moments, which, personally, I'm not a big fan of Iron Man, because anyone can be Iron Man. Anyone can hop into a suit, have all the handicaps of a superhero, and just go out and start blowing shit up and punching and all that other stuff. I mean, that's why I'm just not I'm not a big fan of Iron Man. I mean, I'm more impressed when someone who doesn't have to use all these superhero handicaps can do extraordinary things than someone who obviously has powers and you know they can do this. Show me something that a character you didn't think they could do. But with, with Thor and Captain America and especially the Incredible Hulk, there's so much that you know they can do. The question is, are we going to see them do it? And that's just really some of my main complaints about the Avengers movie. Now, I'm just saying right now, I don't think this is going to be a bad film. I'm still going to see it, but here's another problem I have. Sorry, just one more thing came up. I recently now found out that there's going to be a Thor 2, a Captain America 2, Iron Man 3, and most likely another Hulk movie, which guarantees that none of these characters at any point are going to be in any serious danger. None of them are going to die, which means that right now, before I even see the movie, all the suspense is already gone. I know they're all going to survive, and they're probably going to do an Avengers 2. Whether they're going to wait 1 or 2 movies after they do, I don't know, all these other movies, we don't know yet. But that's really my main problems with the Avengers. Now, I know this has been rather negative, but as I've said before, I'm still excited to see this movie. I really am. I mean, I'm not excited for it. I mean, I'm more excited for Ghost Rider than I am the Avengers. But I'm still going to see this movie. I'm still going to give it a fair review. But at this point in time, it's kind of sitting at about a 6 to a 7. That's my guess of what I'm going to give this movie when I finally go see it. Now, the next movie on my list that I am really excited for is The Dark Knight Rises. Now, opposite to the Avengers, I'm more excited for this movie than I was for The Dark Knight, as you can see behind me here. Basically for many good reasons. Number one, this is an ending, which means anything is possible. And it's kind of nice to see the build-up. And I really enjoy how they're how the whole novelization thing has really worked out very well. The idea of taking a fictional character and putting him to the real world and making him a believable character and actually seeing the character develop. Now, what I really like about how they're doing The Dark Knight is that they're not showing a lot of it, which is really good. Basically, they show enough of The Dark Knight Rises to the point where you kind of get an idea of what this could be about, and then when you go see it, it's really better or completely different than what you thought. And that is really what I'm looking forward to most. My feelings towards Bane and Catwoman being the supposed villains are okay. I mean, I don't know, I guess Bane has some serious, he's got some serious popularity of being the only person to ever unmask the Batman and break his back, as many of you know. And the only thing I'm not sure if they'll do or not is we have not seen any official, footage of Catwoman. In the newest trailer for The Dark Knight Rises, we saw Selina Kyle, but we did not see Catwoman. And I'm wondering if they're going to show that in like a second trailer or not. Or are they just going to keep that, not going to show you anything until you go see the film. Another thing that I'm really excited for is, obviously, if this is a climax, there's going to be a major death. I don't know who it's going to be. It could be Alfred, it could be Fox, it could be Selina Kyle, or heck, even more shockingly, it could be Batman who dies. I mean, that's that's something that, not many superhero, even in the comic books, will do. And that would be a serious climax. I mean, perhaps the idea of, the legend rises is, you kill Batman the man, but you give birth to Batman the legend. So perhaps that's what it means by Dark Knight Rises. I don't know, that's just my personal thought. I don't know if Batman's gonna die or not in this movie, but if he does, I'll happily accept it. In a shocking way, at least, since, he is my favorite hero. And as I've said before, when I was talking about the Avengers a few minutes ago, what really is going to impress me the most is the fact that we're going to be seeing Batman, who is someone who does not have any powers. Yeah, he has technology, but you know, that technology in this movie, it looks like a lot of it's going to be turned against him. And the fact that he's now older and he's not in as good a shape as he was in the Dark Knight means, you know, there's definitely a lot of time for suspense. So, you know, obviously he's gonna, you know, get beat up pretty badly and take some serious punishment, but the fact that we're seeing a normal guy without any powers being able to go up against such high stakes is much more impressive than a bunch of people with superpowers who you know can't die easily. It's difficult. I mean, it would be like, I don't know, trying to take down Superman without kryptonite or magic. I mean, you know, Superman might be a Boy Scout, but he's pretty tough, and he can take a lot of punishment. You know, I mean, he has against Darkseid. But getting back to the matter of fact, is that just out of these two movies, The Dark Knight definitely seems better. I'm much more anticipated for that one. Heck, I mean, if you've seen my posters vid, which I'll post a link down below, I have like 6 Dark Knight posters, and if this movie is better than The Dark Knight, which I can't necessarily confirm that it will be, but there's a possibility that it is, because, you know, Nolan has, you know, he kind of has the thing of always topping his previous movie regardless of what it's about, and so that's definitely possible. So yeah, that's really my feelings. It's up for Dark Knight Rises and kind of for the Avengers. But better than the Avengers and better than The Dark Knight Rises is a movie that I hope comes out one day. At this rate, it probably won't. And it's this movie, the DC Trinity. Now, this really would top any movie I could ever see after or before this, because as some of you may know, I am 3TR, and 3 is my favorite number. And the fact of bringing my 3 favorite heroes together, and, you know, not doing a Justice League movie, just doing a Trinity movie, would really make all my geek dreams come true. I would see that movie at least 10 times. I mean, I saw Dark Knight, about 5 times in theaters with 5 different groups of people, and I wasn't bored at all. So yeah, tell me, what are your guys' thoughts on it? Are you more excited for Dark Knight Rises or the Avengers? And what do you think of a Trinity movie? Do you think they should do it or not? If you like this video, please comment down below, like, and please subscribe to keep track of me. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next review.